Need any help, Dr. Natasha?
You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with.
And what?
According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society?
Nope. Sounds suspicious.
I agree.
Okay.
Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. And the most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help.
Got it. You want me to go undercover?
It sounds dangerous, but what I want you to do is actually very simple. Investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out what exactly they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just... Can I entrust you with this task?
Sure.
This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care.
Okay. Already, like always, forget.
Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly.
I've seen you in the clinic.
Who is Natasha?
Don't play dumb. Let me guess. Natasha, what's the use? I'm terminal. Life will be over.
Was that Natasha
Of
diagnosis?
course not. Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen incurable diseases before I get halfway through. For people in my situation, a follow-up visit is just a waste of...
Are you serious?
What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back when I had the opportunity.
Money, anything but
You
life?
think I need you to tell me? Don't try and persuade me. I've already thought this through.
Really?
Dr. Vash never charged me anything either. Natasha's great.
Who's Dr. Watch?
Natasha's brother. They both used to... I heard he was a top student from the overall medical academy. Bellabog's main hospital wanted him. I have no idea what convinced him to set up down here. A kind heart, maybe.
Free medicine care? I don't believe it.
What do you mean? Dr. Vash was a people's doctor. He handed out free medicine. He even followed up with detailed questions on how he felt. The underworld is always short on medical resources. They say that Dr. Vash made all his own medicine himself.
Why don't you go to him?
You think I don't want to? I heard that he... I should keep my voice down. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patient.
And you believe that?
It's just something people were saying. I don't think Dr. Natasha could do something like that. Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later.
Okay.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
Through next patient.
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. My ears aren't what they used to be.
I want to ask you, why are you not going for your follow-up visit?
Ah! A follow-up visit. Is that what you're asking? Natasha's but at this age, it's rather a lot to bear. Even if they could cure me.
There's no time wasted where health is concerned, right?
Not for youngsters like yourself. When you get to my time of life, good health is... My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. He wanted to make sure I had enough. Then, one day, He said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. I miss him. Now that he's gone, who cares?
Dr. Natasha
You're not
Quest.
wrong, I suppose. That girl certainly spares me no effort. But, okay, you win. It's off for another follow-up visit with Dr. Natasha, I suppose. Did you want to...
Have you heard of Mutual Aid Society?
Virtual who?
Mutual Aid
All
Society.
right, I heard you. Do you have to... Where have you been?
Avoiding a
Okay.
follow-up visit because of her husband.
Office.
I should find another patient to talk to.
G patients. Maybe he knows something about this.
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Dr. Natasha?
You're pretty sharp.
You should head on back then. I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to...
I'm too senior
So
too.
you had a dispute. She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve of her methods. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who... Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait. Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is cheap, and the results are immediate. You just...
Yes.
Dr. Vash's medicine is... different. Lots of people make a full recovery after taking it, but some get... Even knowing the risk, most people fight tooth and nail to get hold of the medicine.
She's willing to gamble with her lives.
You know, life forces you to the edge. You'll throw yourself at any opportunity, even if it means risking it all. For people like us, a slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. If it's between that and a quick result, we'll take the latter. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this?
Where can I get this wonder medicine?
What? Now you're... Listen up. The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. You must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha. You hear? Yeah, take this. It's the address. A final...
Let's go to
I know where to
Natasha.
find the wonder medicine. Which that patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this.
Let's tell Natasha. She needs to know.
So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results. And now they're selling this so-called... Any organization doing something like this is interested in more...
The patient wants me to keep it secret
I'm
from
not
you.
surprised. They'll know that I'm completely against them. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word... I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the mutual aid. Thank you. Those patients weren't exactly singing my praises. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic.
Okay, let's see.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. I don't buy it. People's doctor. That's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. Vash used to distribute free medicine all the time, but he couldn't have cared less about the people. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks.
What
The
else?
medicine Vash left behind? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't just... He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine.
Wait,
If it
what?
were you, would you have taken that medicine?
No.
I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash.
I think he was a doctor with zero medical ethics.
I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the Wonder Medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After...
Okay, let's go. There is something wrong if he wants me to go and look at his patient. Lonely woman?
Who are you?
I'm friend of Dr. Natasha.
Who? And
Wait, what? You haven't introduced yourself.
where's my husband? Where are they?
Try and see
I
how.
don't know. Where?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill,
And tell me near become like this.
yes, before her family passed away, she was a carefree young woman. Her husband and child caught a mysterious illness. The symptoms weren't grave, but their livelihood was certainly impossible. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, they bought some kind of wonder medicine. Who would have thought their condition would deteriorate so rapidly? The two began to suffer terribly, such that death then became a blessing. It wasn't long from that moment on. Oh, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing.
It just sounds like
And
poison.
yet, what more could have been done? They were warned about the medicine. They were told about... Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can.
Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to...
Those medicines prey on our weaknesses.
Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you there was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immune. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he...
And
Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the... She brought her brother underground, and I think you know what comes next.
yeah. I'm sorry to adopt you.
Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine.
Somebody has to do the right thing. Let's
Thank
go.
you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take O. I'll be waiting.
Stop right there.
Yeah, no, the wonder medicine.
Oh, playing. Wait a minute, you're that clinic woman's lackey, aren't you? She's after our medicine and sent you men. Look lively and send.
Let's fight.
Well, look who we have here. Your reputation precedes you, outsider. I didn't take you for a bandit.
Who are you?
You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. The medicine we hold here is lifeblood for many of our members. Those poor patients. Along comes a life-saving wonder medicine only to be snatched away. The underworld is full of sickness. My mutual aid society has relieved that doctor of patients at the end of the road.
And she never worked with an importer like you.
Seems like you are quite bent on design, seeing as you came all this way. Men, seize the men. Blast it! What did we ever do to you? What?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to save lives, you're in it.
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have expected trouble to find you soon. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must...
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sick...
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sack the debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone.
So stubborn.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved... I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a... Let's go back to town.
Uh-oh. It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder...
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. While your ailments need rational, scientific treatment, relying on
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I...
How dare you speak to...
Ma'am, please, think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine.
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my... I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help...
The surface.
Have some respect for Doctor.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'm out of here.
What an asshole. Okay.
I wish you all a journey that is... Oh, you're here.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patient. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this. Now's as good a time as any to tell you if there's anything you want to know, don't...
Who was your biological brother?
But I used to think we were so close. I, actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't my adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood. And Vash loved me like... My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older, both of us got straight into...
So, what kind of person was
He
Vash?
was gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could... Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize.
So you knew this medicine was
I
useful.
didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked. If you fail to make a clean break with the past...
Did he leave pass away?
That's a long story. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Bella. I do admire his vision. I knew his research, but I was too young to know. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, their bodies reacted differently to hot and cold. He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in development. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong.
He lost his last shred of reality.
Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. When his experiments were exposed, This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders.
Banishment isn't a part of hard punishment?
Looking back, it wasn't. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. Let's call it a day.